The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good. Lewis, let's take a quick look here at the, well, I don't have the DAX and I don't have the FTSE today. I know they are down just a bit, or excuse me, up just a little bit, but still, in a downtrend. Folks, we have something really, really big happening. I don't know if it's going to mean very much today or not, but we ought to take a quick look at it, and we'll do that right now. Then I'll answer a few questions that we have coming up. If you'll take a look here at this is the E-mini S&P over the past 5 trading days. As you can see here, we came down, and then between the 9th and the 11th, we had that nice rally. We did the exact same rally last night. That was exactly 30 points. That's 6 harmonic numbers, 6 times 5, 25. And it was right spot on, and this sets up an extremely negative scenario for the stocks, folks. I know they're up a little bit yet, but it looks like they're heading down towards 2675, and below 2600 you're looking at 1900, in my opinion. Why, I don't know. It's just a price target that's out there, and we'll have to wait and see. But as long as we don't get above 2750 today, this has a very, very, very bearish scenario, as we've been talking about, for quite some time. Now, we've been asked to take a look at the Japanese yen versus the U.S. dollar because it's at such a critical level, and it has been here for at least several days. We're going to look at it right now. This is the one from the newsletter that we sent out on Sunday. You'll notice that we were right up at this 114.20 level. I believe that's pretty close to where we are right now. That's the exact 78% level. We took out the high by about just a few pips, as I recall. So we're at that really, really interesting spot here in this Japanese yen. The show's not archived. I don't understand that, Peak. You'll have to ask TFN on that. I'm not sure, how that works. But there's a couple other markets that are very, very oversold that are really interesting here. Let's just take a look here at the gold market. If you'll remember here, this is from the newsletter. We were looking at the, okay, sorry, Peak. If you look here at the gold market, we were looking for the market to come down to this 1197 level. Last night, we hit 1196 and change. We got up to 1203 on the rally, so we rallied about $7. That's the minimum amount of rally that you would be expecting on this. But if you were following the gold, what we were looking at in the on the 24/7, you'll notice that we had this really nice pattern looking at the 15-minute gold chart over the last several days. You'll see the 3 drive to a bottom pattern. Remember the 618 and 786 came in at 1197, and the low that we had last night was 1196.60, so it was pretty much spot on. We rallied a little bit from that level, and whether it's going to rally too much, we'll have to wait and see. Now, the one that's in the news that is really looks interesting here is if you'll take a look here at, this is crude oil. Now, this is crude oil over the past 10 days, folks. I'm going to get it up here so you can take a quick look at it. Here's crude oil. You can see the downward sloping channel that we've had since the 5th of November. The the 1.618 expansion on this puppy came in at 58.10, and our low last night was 58.27. Now, we haven't rallied very much. We're trading just a tad above 5,900, but that's what we're watching as we look at some of these things here. So pay attention to these, because it's going to be interesting to see if, in fact, this is going to be something that looks like it could be. Well, we're trading at 58.77, so if we get down there one more time at 58 in that December crude, pay attention to that, because that's a very low risk trade down in that area, folks. And you're trading a contract that's worth $60-some thousand. So I think it looks like it could be, something that you want to at least pay attention to. That's the way I would look at it. So we'll watch it. Folks, we're having some incredible weather here in the old Pueblo in Tucson. We have winds tonight all night long that are just absolutely never seen winds like this before. They're just absolutely amazing how intense they are, and I don't know what it's caused from, but boy, it is really, really. We have hummingbirds and we have chimes out there, and the chimes, it sounds like something from the Great Salt Lake. The Great Salt Lake, what do they call that place? The temple up there. If you ever get the chance to go there, that's really someplace, really cool to look at. Now we're down at 58.67 here now. We didn't even come close to yesterday's move in the crude oil. So really watch 5,800. This is going to be a very, very interesting one, to pay attention to, because of the fact that it's, spot on at a really nice area to look at. So those are the ones that we're keeping an eye on. Now, we've had a little bit of a rally on the euro. We rallied about 60 pips. We're trading at around 112.70. There's going to be resistance at that bold breakout at 113. So we're at a level where we could have some pretty good moves. Let's look here at the hold on one second here. By the way, yes, you're right. Someone's asking about the California fires. Yes, I lived in Westlake Village. They've been hit. Calabasas has been hit, which is the city just south of Westlake Village, and Thousand Oaks, of course, is hitting bad. But it's really we've had friends that have had to been evacuated there. So this is a major fire, as they've told us. But it's even more major. My grandson's grandmother, Judy, Grandma O, she had to be evacuated, and Laren's significant other, he also had to evacuate his tenants from his place there. So it's really, really bad across that area. I lived there for a long time. And I bought the first house in '65 when there wasn't even water in the lake, and paid $32,000 for the house. I think it's worth more than that now. I'm not sure. But anyway, the problem is that not only do these Santa Ana winds come up, but there's they don't have a lot of water there sometimes, and it's because they've had a drought. But anyway, we'll just not to worry about that. Now, I've had a question about General Electric, folks. I'll bring this up here and take a look at it. General Electric, once we went below, if you'll give me a second here, this was the last stance in General Electric. You'll notice where we talked about this. This is going back, oh my gosh, several months ago. Well, it was back in, when was it? It was back, well, it was just 1 month ago. It was trading at 11. And now, once we went below that 1.618 expansion to the downside, folks, that told us that we were heading down a whole lot lower. And believe me, this all started with Jack Welch. It was not Jack Welch. It wasn't well, Immelt didn't help because he was a clone of Jack Welch, but they made some really silly mistakes. Well, as we all do, but let's forget that. Anyway, it looks like we're going to $5 a share in General Electric. 877-927-6648.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I wanted to post a chart of Big Blue here so we could take a look at it. We went down and took out the lows. This is the weekly chart of 2015, and we had a little bit of a rally. We go below 112 in IBM again, and boy, you're going to be looking at something that's going to be pretty nasty because the ABCD structure on this measures all the way down to $71 a share. So be careful, folks. As we've seen with General Electric and some of these other stocks, you know, once they start to go, they go a long way down. I want to talk to you a little bit about the astrology. We've had a lot of guests on through these 10 years, and some of them have been incredibly accurate. All of them have been certainly interesting, but I've started this process of looking at astrology way back when Mary Rivers first came into my office in 1977 at Drexel, and she was doing the silver trading with Moon and Scorpio. And then I didn't really touch it very much until 1986 when Dr. Ruth Miller took me under her wing and explained to me about astrology and the Fibonacci numbers, and then I wrote that book, Astro Cycles, The Trader's Viewpoint, which took me into a whole different realm. I started a newsletter that was really successful for about 6 years. I just got tired of doing the newsletter and the hotline, and I just stopped. But anyway, I believe in my heart that there's something there, but I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've not seen a holy grail. The Bradley model, when it works, just works absolutely terrific, and when it doesn't work, it's really, really bad. So, you basically get down to, what you have to look at, and I get down to these lunar cycles, and they're pretty good. We have Norm Winsky on, who's given us some incredible calls, and some of them actually to the minute. And also Bill Meridian has been on, and we also had Dr. Al Larson from Money Tide, and he's had some tremendous success. But when I first started looking at cycles with the Foundation for the Study of Cycles and also the Jim Hurst book back in 1970, The Profit Magic of Stock Transaction Timing, it's a lot of data and numbers and stuff, and it wasn't easy to do because we didn't have computers back in those days, so you had to do it all by hand. And fortunately, I have 20 men to always, when you defy human nature, do the work yourself. Well, I always got 20 men to do it. So anyway, let's think about that a little bit, because Edward Dewey, in a lecture that I heard back in Pittsburgh, oh my gosh, this was 60, I think it was 69 or 70. He talked about that, and he wrote about it too. He thought that astrology was really going to be where the cycle work would go in the futures, but frankly, we don't know. We had a young man yesterday, Kim, on the line from Oregon, who was very, very interesting. And we also had a young man from South Carolina about or in early October talking about the retrograde motion of Venus. If that person is listening today, I would really appreciate you getting in touch with me. It's Larry Pesavento at gmail.com, because you had some interesting things to say about it. And since Kim was talking about similar type things, I'd like to, add that to it. Of course, we've had Bill Meridian on, who's done some really good work, but there's no 100% out there, folks. There's just absolutely, there is no 100%. I've always, one of the things on my bucket list is I would like to be able to see that that you have a whole segment on CNBC or Bloomberg, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it happens to be, on astrology. But it won't come from somebody, like Larry Pesavento. And one other person I should mention is Shane Smolian, who helped, basically wrote the book that we just did together. And he's an incredible young man. You'll be hearing from him, down the road a long, long time, because he's very, very smart and does superb work with a great deal of success. But let's remember, it's not 100%, and all I try to do is to match the patterns with things that look like they're pretty good astrological, and that's pretty much what I try to do. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but the patterns will tell you whether you're going to be on the right side of the market or not, and those are the ones that control your risk. So that's the whole thing of why we're looking at some of these things. So we want to watch it, because I think it's important enough to really get a handle on why these things are moving. Now, we got the crude oil. I'm watching this crude oil very closely, folks. We're trading at 58.56 right now. It means we're half a dollar away from that 1.618 expansion down there at 58.20. So pay close attention to that one. That's going to be a real interesting one to watch, because it's pretty much in fact, we're moving down pretty hard, so let's just see if we get to that level. We're trading at 27.33 now in the S&P here pre-market. The low we made last night or late yesterday afternoon came in at 27.18. If we break 27.18, and that's not a foregone conclusion, we're looking at 60 handles lower, folks, at 26.74. There's an important bottom there. That's a big. Several fib numbers come in there at that 26.74. Below 26.74, wow, it's pretty nasty. Remember, the Dow was down 600 points yesterday, and all we were able to bounce last night was 130 points. That's a definition of a DCB. So watch that one. That's another one that looks extremely interesting. So pay attention to that, because it could have some great potential if we get below that 26.74, and we'll see what's happening. Someone was asked a question about the Canadian dollar that we've been watching. Folks, we came within one tick of that thing last night, and we haven't quite, we're getting back up there right now. So there's another one, along with that Japanese yen. This Canadian dollar is doing the same thing. We're trading at 132.36 right now, I believe, somewhere in that ballpark. And the number we're looking at is 132.50. So that's in the ballpark of what we're looking at here. So you see where we are. Anyway, that's what we're watching here, and we'll be able to see how these things unfold for today. But the picture in the stock market is really negative, folks. We had when we're only rallying to 382 retracements, And you know, that is really telling you that there's something nasty coming out there. And whether that's going to be today or tomorrow, I don't know. But boy, it certainly looks like it has a great deal of potential to the downside. Well, we'll see, you know, what happens with it, but we'll go from there. I wanted to show someone. Someone asked a question this morning about the crude oil and the Canadian dollar. I want to bring this up here to show you. I put the crude oil is in red. You'll notice here that there is a correlation here, but the correlation only works part of the time. If you look at that big blue line right there in July, right around the 4th of July, you see how crude oil was going straight up and the Canadian dollar was going the opposite direction. So you can't always do that. That's why you've got to be able to, you know, you got to be able to really watch that very, very closely. Now I wanted to, wow, we got a break coming up already. When we get back, we're going to try to take a look at this U.S. dollar index because we're at, where it looks like we're going higher. 877-927-6648. Oh.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, I posted the chart of the the E-mini SP And as you can see here, back on November the 7th, we went and hit that exact 61% retracement from the high we made in October. That was the first clue that, wow, there was something probably happening that was relatively nasty. Now we got down to 27.16 last night, 27.18 last night, which was really close to the low we made back in November the 2nd. And then we've had these little 30-point rallies that go very, very quickly, and then they give up the ghost a lot. So pay attention to that, folks, because if we get below, that 26.18, so let's try it again, Larry, 27.18, you will you have a price objective of 2675 that we've already posted here this morning. So I think that is pretty important. Now let's move over to the U.S. dollar here, because this is one that we've been watching very, very closely. That's pretty good to us. You'll notice that we've had this upward channel that started in September right at a 382 retracement. That's that yellow pattern that you see there, where you have the ABCD structure coming in right at the 382 retracement. That's an extremely bullish. That's the exact opposite of what we're looking at in gold. Whereas the 382 was on the upside, this one's on the downside. So that tells you that this has a tremendous amount of bullish potential, and we're looking at least 98 or so in the. Actually, it looks a lot more bullish than that. If we take a look at this long-term dollar index chart, this is the weekly. You'll see that it has some really big numbers that you could hang your hat on up around par. And that would be right at a 78% retracement of the high we made in October of 2016, and that would set up a potential head and shoulders pattern from 2015. So if we get up there to par, and that would get that euro most probably down below 108, which is close to the 106 target that we're looking at. So pay attention to these, because there could be some really monster moves in this area. Now, Mr. Z this morning asked us about that Japanese yen, and we did go up there to that level that we're looking at, was at the 114.20 level. We were pretty much spot on, and as you can see here, we're trading down about 50 pips from that high. So that, your risk on that, if you were to had done that trade, and I certainly didn't, but had you done that, you would have been looking at something that would tell you that you're looking at something that would be pretty powerful. The $64 question is, how important is this low in the gold market? Folks, that 1197 is exactly the 61% retracement of the last major low we made down there at 1183 and change, and it's also the 50% retracement from the low we made at 1167. So that's why it's so important. Going below 1197 is really a very, very negative thing. Now, we've rallied $7 an ounce so far, which is the minimum amount that you want to get. If we rally more than $17 off this bottom here, then this could have been a major, major bottom. The key is you don't know what the profit's going to be. You really don't. You never know that. The only thing you can control in your risk-reward equation of folks is your risk. So if you're buying there at 1197 and it moved up to to 1202, 1203, now you've got a $700 profit. That's your money. So you've got to protect that. So I would move your stop to break even, and then let the trading gods determine where they wants to go. So we'll see. That's what it looks like right here. Now, regarding the euro, I know there's several questions about that. There's going to be strong resistance at the euro where the old breakout to the downside occurred at 113. It's very, very should be very, very powerful. What we call price targets. Now, if we look at the euro here, this is just from yesterday. This was actually from Monday. Well, Monday was yesterday. Anyway, we went down and we made that first target down there at 12. We got as low as 112.15. We're trading 112.75 right now. We rallied about 60 pips. So the second target that we have there is right around 1190. Those are their big ABCD patterns. So we're watching those on that 4-hour chart, because that allows you to quantify your risk by watching the patterns, very, very closely so that you don't have to risk. That's why I don't do any work. I do work on weekly charts occasionally, but I really am not sure if it, I don't trade off a weekly chart. That'll give me some ideas of where we are, but that's really what we're trying to do. Now, I wanted to show you one other thing in the precious metals that looks pretty interesting here, and this is platinum. And I want to bring this to your attention too because of the cycles that are there. If you'll notice those cycles on the bottom there, there's a 31, well, basically a 32-day cycle and a 64-day cycle. And then if you look at the cycle above it, that's a 16-day cycle and a 32-day cycle. Those are nominal cycles. And what you're looking at is on the yesterday, what you're looking at is what Jim Hurst used to talk about as a summation index. In other words, you have the sum of several cycles coming together. The problem with these things, folks, is they don't work like this very often. They work one or two repetitions, and then they start to expand and contract. And the reason for that is that these cycles, I really believe they're astrological, and they're not based on nominal days. You'll see these nominal days occur, and they're very important, but that's all they are because they shift back and forth. I saw that and paid a heavy price for that back in 1974 to figure that out. But that's what you want to take a look at. And you notice here that platinum is in a really strong uptrend. It's totally different than we're looking at in gold and especially silver. I mean, platinum is still in an uptrend. If you were supposed to buy something, that number in platinum came in at 843 and change last night, and I believe we're trading up around 850 and change right now. So that one was still in an uptrend, whereas the regular gold and silver, especially silver just looks like it's doesn't have any friends, but that's neither here nor there. Let's keep an eye on that. Okay, let's take a quick look here, and I want to get something done here. All righty, and we're trading at 112.70 in the euro. That means we're up about 60 pips. Remember, the harmonic number in the euro is between 70 and 80 pips, so we're really close to that level right now. So that's something that you want to watch. I think it would be something that would be pretty interesting to pay attention to. So that's what I think you ought to do. Whether you're going to do that or not, I don't know, but we'll just watch it. Okay, let's move over to the grain markets. We had a pretty big move in wheat yesterday, folks. We've been waiting for wheat and corn to start to make a bottom because we've got some really strong seasonal coming in at this time. So what we want to do is to pay attention to that because we'll have a pretty good idea of what we're looking at when we look at the charts. Fact is, we'll do that right now. We got a break coming up. When we come back from the break, we're going to take a look at the corn, and we're also going to take a look at the wheat because we really think we got something working here. 877-927-6648.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today. Jason Path has just launched his weekly newsletter, The Quantitative Edge, available only at tfnn.com. Right now, you can sign up for Jason's outstanding weekly report, including midweek updates whenever warranted, with a 30-day money-back guarantee included, so you have nothing to risk. risk. Jason develops his trade recommendations by creating an ensemble of predictive and mathematical models trained on data by leveraging a variety of techniques, including market-based computer simulations. Jason then combines these sophisticated predictive and analytical models with deeply researched macro outlooks to identify opportunities in a number of different markets for traders to act on. Whether you're looking to trade futures, equities, commodities like crude oil and gold, forex, or cryptos, Jason covers it all. Sign up for Jason Paff's weekly trading newsletter right now by visiting the front page of TFNN.com, and you'll find the quantitative edge under the newsletters tab. TFNN.com, educating investors. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of of wheat first. As you can see, we went up to a 78% retracement last night. We stopped pretty much spot on, and we're looking at a situation where we've got a market that has turned up. We have higher bottoms. We also have some higher tops through here over the past several weeks, and we want to be watching that for a movement to the upside, because there's some strong seasonals that occur. We use the work of Bill Gary of Commodity Perspectives, an old friend from Oklahoma back in the days of Frank Tauscher. Bill does some great work, and two of his stronger seasonals are coming in here into wheat and corn, and that especially corn now, because we're finished with harvest. So we should be looking at a market that should be going down quite substantially, and we certainly aren't doing that. You'll notice on this corn chart. Yes, Marshall, that is a 135 pattern in wheat. That's a very good eye. Thank you very much, Marshall. I didn't mark it because it's a little, I didn't have time to put the chart up to chat about it, but it certainly is that pattern, so that's a good eye. Now, you'll notice here in the corn market, we're looking for a pullback here. We went and had the crop report last week. It was slightly bearish, and we backed off, about 10, 11 cents in the corn, but if we get it down about another 10 cents, that'll be down in an area where it would have some pretty good value is what I would be watching, I would think. So we would keep that one in mind. As so we have a question about one of the FANG stocks. If you'll give me a second here, I'll get it up here. Here's Google. The question is, where do I think Google is going? Well, I think it's going to do like the rest of the market, probably glow lower. So that's what we're paying attention to today. So that's, Google made a top way back in July, folks. Remember, the market didn't top until, the overall market didn't really top until October the 2nd. So Google's topped long before the rest of the market, and it did it with a beautiful ABCD pattern up there at 1275. And the high, I believe, was 1273. So it was through 1273.90. So it was within 1 point of the exact ABCD pattern. So it's still in a negative pattern. And also Apple, we've had a question about the Apple. We'll bring it up because we've already gone down to below these levels, below the 61% retracement level. I believe we hit it again yesterday, down around that 197 level. So that's telling us that all of these are moving to the downside, and that is not a good thing to be looking at as you look at some of these things. So pay close attention to these, because they're very, very important. That's for sure. Okay, The question that we're having is about the stock market. We're here, we're trading. We're open this morning. We're up a little bit, 27.37, up about 10 handles. We were up 30 handles at one time. We got all the way up to 27.50. As long as we don't get above that 27.50 level, you know, we're going to be looking at something that is going to be most probably a whole lot worse than what we're watching here. So let's watch this as we go through today, and we'll be able to see, you know, what we're watching at. Okay, let's move on here to this natural gas is absolutely going crazy, folks. We got up to 406 in natural gas today. We broke $1,000 in a matter of an hour or so. Now we're coming right back again, heading towards that 406. So natural gas is really really rocking and rolling today. So I would not recommend that for the faint of heart, because that is an area where you can easily see this market go to 450. I believe that's what Jason was talking about earlier, that it would got a possibility of, you know, getting up to that area. So watch it. I think the one to really watch today, folks, is that crude oil at 58.10. If we get Christmas crude down there, that's that channel line. It's at 1.618 levels, and believe me, we're oversold. I think 12 days in a row to the downside certainly puts you in an oversold situation. So that's another one. Also, the Treasury bonds. I'd like to see if you could get Treasury bonds up to that 138.24 level. That's about 16 points, about $500 from where we are right now. I think we could get that one. That would really be interesting to pay attention to also. So those are ones that are looking, you know, pretty interesting. Now, we had another question about one of the FANG stocks, and that one is Netflix. I'll bring this up to let you see it. It's been one of the stronger of the stocks, and it has some pretty good support down there at the 78% level, 277. We have not taken that out yet, but should we take that out, you're looking at a price objective pretty close. Just doing the ABCD work on this takes you below 235, which would be the low in last February. So boy, you got to use stops in these, folks, because you know, we have not had a 20% correction in what, 9 years? Hello, we used to get these all the time. We just haven't done that. That's just it. Okay, Facebook. I'll bring this up one more time. We're trading at around 141 and change right now, and as you can see, very good, Tucker. You can see here we're at a pretty good support here at 142. In the Facebook. So it's going to be interesting today, because this level that we hit yesterday and had the 30-point bounce, if we can get the stock market in the ES to get above 27.50 today, then it's got a chance for some more ABC type rally for the rest of this week. But longer term, this looks extremely bearish, folks. It really does. I mean, it's got some just to give you some longer term objectives on this, just look at this E-mini here going back from just from 2012, and you can see some of the price objectives that you could be looking at. You're looking at 23, or roughly 2,400 is the 61% retracement. 2,200 is the 78% retracement, or 2,000 is the 78% retracement, and the big one is down there at 1,500. That's the 61% retracement. That's off of the low of 2009. Now, if we should get a crash type scenario like we had in 1929 and 1987, you know, then that would be the area you'd want to be watching. The S&P could get to roughly 1,500. That's a 61% retracement of those, you know, so that's pretty good. We'll see what happens. Bob, you're right about that natural gas. You know, and what if? I don't know what you mean by that, Dudette. You're going to have to explain to me a little bit more what you mean by that, and I will be happy to try to answer it, but I don't understand that question. Yes, that's right. The 382 is down there too. You're absolutely correct. You could also get that to 3030. Yes, that's right. It could easily, that ABCD could hit 3030, but not in my lifetime, Princess. Not in my lifetime. This one's in big trouble. This one is big trouble. God didn't create the plunge protection team. That was created by Who was it? Was that Reagan? Yeah, it must have been Reagan. Yeah, that was Reagan in '87. So we'll see what happened. That was Greenspan, Rubin, and who was the other dude? Summers? Were those the three guys? I can't remember who the plunge protection team was at that time. Well, that's not to worry. Let's move on to Bitcoin. We have a question about Bitcoin, folks. I think these, I don't know anything about cryptocurrencies and even less about blockchains, but look at the lack of interest in Bitcoin since the last 3 months. I mean, it's gone nowhere. So that's it. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, I posted a chart for my good friend Shane Smolian, and he's really looking for a low. It looks like right about Thanksgiving time, which would fit pretty much with what we'd like to see. And I believe these lines that we're looking at are related to the speed of Mercury. I'm not sure. I'll probably find out in about 30 seconds here, but that's what it looks like here. He's got some other charts that are just incredibly interesting. The problem is, hold on, he's probably going to tell us here. Here's another one here that shows pretty much the same thing that we're looking at. A very significant bottom coming in around this Thanksgiving time. And Shane's mentioned to us that it has a lot to do about this Venus in retrograde motion, which is what Kim from Oregon talked about yesterday, and also the gentleman from South Carolina. And if you're listening, Mr. South Carolina, please get in touch with me, Larry Pesavento at gmail.com, and I'd certainly like to chat with you some more. So we'll watch it. Shane says it's the Mercury, Venus, and Moon all coming together that makes all this stuff being so volatile. So let's pay close attention to some of these things, because if we break below those lows that we made yesterday in the S&P at 27.18, it sets up a price swing of 2675. That's down 60 handles, and that's not a 40 handles. So that's a pretty significant drop if in cakes. Now, Steve Rhodes is talking about a potential 3-drive bottom in Goldman Sachs. Yes, Steve, you're spot on. I see that, and that's been, the leader to the downside in the banking index. So the other one is Deutsche Bank, folks. You talk about a stock that looks like General Electric. Pull up your chart on Deutsche Bank. There's a stock that looks like a dying quail. I mean, this thing really looks like it wants to go lower. So do 2 things for me. Live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and second, remember, keep your positive thinking always going on, because if you live every day in an attitude of gratitude, you're going to be far better off. 877-927-66.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks!